Panama City Beach Gulfront Condo Real Estate Market Report for the third quarter of 2022. I also got a boo-boo. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, Bay Real Experts, where we aim to educate you on the local real estate market so your next move can be smart. I'm Sean Casilli with Coldwell Banker Realty, and yes, I did get a boo-boo. I went to the dermatologist today, and they did take another biopsy. No results yet. I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't worry about it, but in case it's distracting you, I just want to get that out of the way. Okay, I got a boo-boo. Wear your sunscreen, boys and girls. Okay. What has been happening with the Gulfront condos here in Panama City Beach? Right now, let's pull up a spreadsheet so we can show you guys what's happening. Right now, there are 328 units that are active for sale. 75 are currently under contract. And as far as the pendings, the average list price for those was just under $600,000. Average days on market for those ones that are under contract, 60. Now, if you compare that to the ones that are lingering on the market at 100 days average on market, those active units, their average list price is $618,000. So almost a $20,000 discrepancy. It's no surprise though, because as your purchase price goes up, your pool of buyers does shrink. I wish we were all rich, but that's just the way it goes, you guys. The people with the more money to spend, they are a smaller pool of buyers. So that's only natural there. However, we do have some other things that are happening here. I do also want to point out for the naysayers, hey, Sean, those numbers are skewed because there are some condos listed at $3 million and $5 million. And if you're including those in the average, of course, it's going to be up over 600,000. Well, I took those two out, so you can't say that. 618,000 is the average. And, I think there were only two that were up at that high price point. So in Panama City Beach, the rest of them capped out in the mid 1 million mark. So on average, 618,487 for the active units right now. Okay, so what's happening? Are things slowing down? Are things picking up? What's happening with prices? We hear about interest rates. Interest rates are up. Yeah, everyone's talking about that. But what is actually happening with the sales? All right, let's compare to the last 3 quarters, and I'm going to try to not put this over my face so you can still see me. Okay. If you paused it already and read the chart, you can probably skip to the end of the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and maybe the share button. Maybe you got somebody that's interested in the Gulfront condo real estate market that might benefit from this information. But if you didn't click pause and you're drinking your coffee in the background and just listening to this or something, let me go ahead and tell you what happened. In the first quarter, there were 342 condos, Gulfront, that sold. Q2, we saw it start to slow down on the number of sales, down to 275. In Q3, which just wrapped up a few days ago, we dropped down to 173. That's about a 50% decrease in volume of closed units since the first quarter. But check out the days on market. Let's just talk about Q1. Average days on market for the solds was 45, so just about 2 months. Interestingly enough, in the third quarter, with half as much inventory selling, we had 41 days on market as our average. Very interesting. Q2, things went a little bit nuts. There was a little bit less inventory that sold, but the average selling price went up to $583,743 with only 19 days on market on average. April, May, June. Okay, well, those are pretty much the busy months for everything. July is when the vacationers are here. Hopefully if you were a buyer, you were probably trying to capitalize on the peak rental season, which is July. I mean, it is from Memorial Day to Labor Day, but you make your most money in July, so I suspect that has something to do with why people maybe were willing to pay a little bit more to close in Q2. All right, so we have been talking about rising interest rates. Maybe that's affecting why there are fewer buyers in the market, but if you look at the average list price for the pendings right now at $599, we don't know what those are going to close for yet, so it'll be interesting to run this report and update you guys when the numbers are in for Q4, if prices are going to stay hanging in there or if they're going to be up slightly over Q2 and Q3. There was a huge jump from Q1, so it'll be interesting to see if things continue to hang in there, at least from a comparable sales approach on your units if you're an owner right now. So not very much inventory. I always say there's markets within markets, so take this all with a grain of salt. These are averages that we're talking about. If you're in a building or you're interested in a building that has a lot of active inventory for sale, you might see prices come down. That's just supply and demand. That's economics 101. When there's too much inventory, you're going to see prices come down because there's just not enough buyers in the market. People are more motivated to move and they're going to drop their prices, and that's just the way it goes. But something people aren't really talking a lot about yet, maybe they are and I'm just not hearing it, but leave me a comment down below if you guys are hearing the same things. But rental rates have taken a turn. This summer compared to 2021, the revenue that is coming in is a lot less, and here's why. When COVID happened, there was a lot of people that couldn't get on an airplane. Let me get rid of this. So they were all driving to the beach. It's beautiful here. Florida had a lot less restrictions on what you could and couldn't do as far as COVID restrictions. So people, my cat's trying to come in the kitty window and I think she thinks it's locked, in case you're wondering what that clicking is. But now with the COVID restrictions lifted, people are starting to travel to other destinations, maybe ones that were on their bucket list or places that they couldn't easily get to by car. So the demand has dropped off. I wouldn't say completely. We're just headed back to more of a normal, what we saw in previous years, as far as vacationers coming and what they're willing to pay to compete for the vacancies. So that being said, if you're an investor that's looking into the Gulffront condo vacation rental property type of investment, if you can find one that pencils out right now, and they are out there, get a rental projection, look at the histories, look at what has been captured for this year, because the peak of the season is past. So the majority of the revenue that the condo is going to produce has already been captured for 2022. We're approaching the snowbird season, November, December, January. So there is going to be some income still that's coming in, but the majority of that revenue has already been captured. Ask the sellers if they have rental history that they can share with you. If it works out with your business plan and it's penciling out for you, whether you're a cash buyer or you're leveraging, if it's penciling out for you now, that's a good indication of the bottom line of what your rental revenue could be. I do suspect with inflation, the rental rates will continue to go up, barring we don't have another odd, unexpected event such as COVID that would affect the rental rates, which drove our values up to where they are now. So are we going to see a correction across the board? If you go back and look at what the pendings are selling for at on average, more than they did in Q1 and Q2 when things were really aggressive in a seller's market, we might just hang on to our value, but only time will tell. Again, this is an average. This report is about averages across the Gulfront condos in Panama City Beach, Florida. If you're in a building that has a lot of inventory, you are going to see prices come down. Okay, I think I'm repeating myself enough. I do want to ask you guys if you can take a moment to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, click the little bell notifications so you don't miss out on anything. And if you think somebody might benefit from this that you know, go ahead and share this with them. Of course, if you have property that you want to buy or sell in the Panama City Beach area, we would love to help you with that. We'll leave contact information down below, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.